All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got your watch list coming in December 5th, 2019, and these are 3 stocks I'm going to trade tomorrow. I'm excited because there is a lot in the market we need to talk about. What's happening with the market is creating a huge opportunity, so we're going to take advantage of that. Even everything that's occurred all week has kind of even led up to these plays, and then I'm hoping maybe we make this the 9th week in a row. We will see, but there's a lot we need to talk about. I'm going to go over what happened in the market today, briefly why we went up. That's really simple. It was just simply a rumor related to trade. Again, and seeing how this trade war is developing, or even just the updates related to what's going to happen on December 15th. That's one area that's going to create stuff with the market. But again, the Fed in next week. And it's kind of funny because it led to one of these plays where I'm like, wow, this is just so obvious. So I hope you guys are ready for that. But before we get into that, you guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. I botched that. Oh my gosh. I think it's because we missed today. I'm sorry. Within one standard deviation, option trading, certain risk, you can't lose off that much financial investment. Please do so for financial advice, educational purpose only. And of course, the most important thing you need to do, post your watch list below. Let us know what you're looking at. Source that information. Shout out every single person who held it down today. Colt is very, very strong, baby. So let's keep it rolling, and hopefully these plays will show us something. If you guys have a better idea, call them out. If you guys see, one of them is going to be an earnings play, and then the 2 are kind of related to 2 actually separate things. So let's not waste any more time and get into it. Starting with the keys, I am expecting big moves coming into next week. Now, how the rest of the week plays out is going to confirm that. What we saw today was kind of the first time we had the breaks, and now this is what I was even saying yesterday. We kind of need to see where equilibrium's at. So it's giving us something here with the ranges. Again, we've been selling off pretty much since Monday, and now why we jumped up today, it was literally in the morning. It's an unconfirmed source that the trade deal was actually going to go through. So the markets popped, and that was it. Compared to yesterday, we had a very, very dry news and headline day. So it's interesting to see, but then this is where I'm saying we have to watch out for this week because, again, I still think we're going to test lows, or really that's just one of the many scenarios that could happen. So, again, there's 2 types of people who are listening to this. There's people like, oh, well, you're saying it's going to go up or down, and trying to pinpoint exactly what's going to happen, or there's the other side. You guys understand what I'm doing here, where I have theories. I'm speculating on what I think is going to happen, and from there, I'm going to be formulating my ideas and thoughts. If one scenario is right, we go with that line of logic. If the other scenario is right, we go with that one. So that's what I'm putting here to see, and this is why I'm saying confirming into next week. This is really what is going to decide it, but especially how we come into this week. So what I'm waiting for here is one more test of the low either tomorrow or Friday, or it could even now just be two days up, and then see what happens coming into Monday for that to continue. But essentially, if we do get another day where tomorrow stalls out or tomorrow goes up, and then Friday we sell right back off to those lows, that is going to be bearish, because then that would set up, again, another down Friday, down Monday. Coming off of a lot of outflows this week, that is really going to confirm stuff. But again, we have the Fed too, so there's the Fed, again, mixed even with the trade war stuff. But essentially, I'm pretty much thinking we're going to just stay in a box or a range till the end of the week. If we slip outside of it or end on the lower range, that's going to be bad. If it gets up above that, then that'll be actually good. And you guys can see this is what could really set up a nice bounce play. And you're seeing a lot of companies that even did pretty good today. So that's the main thing I'm going to watch. And then lastly, today highlights the importance of it's better to be late than wrong. So think about how expensive the puts were and everything yesterday. You get one day like this where it just gaps up off of anything and doesn't really move the rest of the day. This is going to make all the insurance a lot cheaper. Now, this is really when you start understanding this in the sense of being like insurance. The house was on fire the last 2 days. Now today it shows a little bit of containment. You could get the same exact insurance now while there is indeed a problem, and you could get that for now a cheaper price than when people were worried of what was going to happen the day before. So this is what you guys want if you're especially if you're trying to play the downside, but pay attention to here today, because if we start getting volatility back and forth, understand your moments to strike and where you want to be at and how you want to position yourself, and ultimately be patient. So putting all that into context now, we just have to see how this week is and see what setup, whether it's going to be buying the dip for the upside or more setup and more downside. We want to find our opportunities with the prices, control it with our budget, and go from there. But that is pretty much it. So let us get into the plays. So I have 3 different plays, and they're pretty much in all 3 corners. One of them I bought today here. It's an earnings play. So again, I brought it up yesterday. I have a play that I made on it. The next play is related to what I'm expecting here for the end of the week and kind of taking advantage of one of the theories or putting out a place marker for that. And then the last one is one that we're going to be swinging into next week and setting us up for an event. So all across the spectrum here, but I like all of these plays in their own degree. I think they're pretty good. So the key is really just going to be timing, and then how do we do it? You know, remember, FedEx is still one to watch. They got their earnings coming up, but you guys have seen, you know, the difference between buying a few days ago, buying yesterday, and how the earnings and the prices have been changing coming into earnings. So right off the bat, we'll talk about the first play, Ulta. I made this play today, and now I have a different strategy with it, and what I'm doing will tell you why I spent as much as I did. And people were even asking, you know, why do I want it? You know, simply right off the bat, Ulta has earnings. It meets the criteria. And the thing I really like about it is you're looking over this in the last 3 months. It hasn't done much. Here's the S&P, and you can see it's clearly diverged. So again, most of the time, companies are going to come and meet up with the S&P some way, shape, or form. It hasn't changed prices. You know, imagine this last few weeks, S&P breaking out to brand new highs, then dropping, all of this. It hasn't moved. It's kind of clear through the price action that investors are waiting to get this earnings report before committing to the stock or selling off. So this is kind of a setup you want to see. It's not swinging a lot. So this is going to explain, you know, why I like it for earnings, and then now why I did what I did coming into earnings. I bought a lot of contracts. So what I plan to do with these is flip them. I bought 10 of these contracts for 400 and then 5 of these for like 300 something, or like 350 roughly. But here's the whole point with these. They report tomorrow. What I'm playing on is the hopes, keyword hope, that coming into earnings tomorrow, like we've seen on almost every earnings now. That's why I say hope, because we don't know. Someone asked why I'm so confident in this. I'm not. It's a theory. It's saying that, well, this can happen or this can't happen. What is going to be my risk, reward, or exposure? So essentially, I could risk 30% of that $400 or on each side. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll still cut the position and just take a loss to limit my exposure. But if I'm right, it'll allow me to sell out of some of these and now hopefully be able to play the play for free. So essentially, I'm going to be hoping that tomorrow the implied volatility goes up and we'll be able to sell these. I'll look in the morning, but usually coming into close is going to be your opportunity. Again, and you guys have seen me do this a lot. So if anything, come on stream, you get your stream alerts. If you don't have, you know what I'm saying, we'll see you there. But be patient with it. Be smart. Don't over leverage yourself, especially too, if you're going to play this strategy, just don't panic. But what I'm going to try to do is make these free, hopefully, because these are a little further out the money. I like the puts better than the calls, but the chain was a little expensive. My plan is, you know, essentially, if you keep one of these at 67 or 70 cents, one at 40, it's like $100 both ways. But the fact that it's kind of stayed at this price, the puts got cheaper from last week, and then now the earnings is tomorrow, there is a chance we could get IV hype. So that's what I'm playing on, but that's the first play. And I just like Ulta in general. I think it will be able to make a pretty good move, just even with what the stock is showing now, and even some of those departures from executives last week. So Ulta is the first play. The second play now is going to be HD. By HD, I've been looking at this all week, and this is what I've been trying to show you guys, where I want to push this to the wall. This come to Friday, even though we want to sell premium, it doesn't matter even if we're going to sell it Thursday, the day before, but I want to do a weekly. You can do the next week, but pretty much you would sell the 217 and buy the 215, or and that would get you 190 credit. So you're taking about a $60 or a $50 risk or something, $59. Or you could sell the 215, 212 for like $100 and take like 140 risk. I don't know about that, but I'm playing with this, and you could even see this now even through Shopify. So we have our Shopifys as well. If you guys don't remember that from last week, that play's already up 500%. That could be our 1,000%er. We'll see, but they went up again. You know, once you start seeing that shitty stock rotation or during these, you know, market sells off, not every, you know, some things might start breaking with it. HD sold off one extra leg, but I'm expecting this to do what McDonald's did, sell off and then pick a range and then bounce within there. So I'm thinking, you know, 217 isn't too bad. It's just right below there. That's why I like that one for the $60 credit. Or if we really want to be safe, we sell the 215. But essentially, if my theory is going to come true tomorrow and we're going to kind of start to level out before a move on Friday or something like that, I want to sell some premium. So if I could sell, I think I might do the 215 or the 217, 215, just take it as a $50 risk for the end of the week. If I'm right, I make $200. If I'm wrong, I lose 50. with a little bit of the odds, being premium, and the fact that if HD starts to rotate, this thing will go up and it'll hold up pretty nicely. So that one is playing against, again, the logic of us getting kind of boxed in for this week and taking advantage of the premium. But I like that decent risk to reward. It's all depending on what strikes you pick, but we have to see too, because that play could greatly change within a few minutes of the market opening if HD does some of those big moves. So watch out for that. But that is the second play. And then the last play, I really like this one, Bank of America. It's hanging out at the top here. But if you really look at this, tell me this does not remind you of the TLT chart. So remember, we love our glorious TLT chart. Great stock right there. But remember, coming into the Fed meeting, it was around right here. They were already up. They were holding near the highs. And then for some time, they kind of just didn't do anything. It looks just like Bank of America right now. You kind of see that there, just at a different time. So that's partially why I like it, is the fact that I think the bank stocks are waiting for this. They've outperformed. They've done good. But over the last month or so, they're kind of just holding up at this level. So that means premium has decayed. The stock hasn't moved a lot. What's that going to mean for the future expectation? So I don't have an exact play on this here, but I'm going to be planning really what you saw me do every single time we had the Fed meeting. I want to go both ways on Bank of America. I want to set something up, just play calls and puts, not spend too much, and get myself decent exposure. The key here is going to be time, though. So remember, you could go for the short terms, but the longer terms will be better. Again, when I do make the play, if you have the stream alerts or if you're on stream, you'll see me. But if anything, once I figure this out, I will put this on a watch list and we'll talk about it. But I do like this play, and this is now getting ready to swing until next week, the tariffs and all that. But I like where it's at. I like what it's doing, and those are your potential plays, baby. So let me know if you guys have any ideas. If you like the plays, you want to challenge them, you want to give it support and thesis, post it in the watch list, baby. But watch all those. Otherwise, beyond that, I am going to be watching Shopify again. We still have that 385. I think that's going to be a good play. Jim Cramer said that companies should be looking to buy them now, and the stock started going crazy. But you could see, this is a big move that if it does start coming near 400 again, that was a big level for the stock, and investors are going to go crazy there. So watch Shopify, watch Roku as well. Surprisingly doing the same thing. I do want to see kind of if the market really starts rallying what they do, but catching some of these where even if they drop, but if they're one of those rotating stocks, if the market starts doing good and they still like Roku could get crazy. But watch those stocks moving a lot. I mean, they are going to create opportunities, and as they start, again, they're going to fluctuate through the day. You could even see how Roku dropped and then came back up. These are going to set opportunities. So be on the lookout, my friends. But I'm going to be watching Roku, HD again, TLT, and then Bank of America and Ulta. And then still want FedEx. The thing I don't like about it is how it's been moving here coming into earnings. Again, these pops and drops. It's doing it in pretty big percentages, so the contracts are kind of still holding up. We got to see there, but I haven't made a play on that. I'm going to be watching them. Next, too, I'm going to be watching Boeing. And now this is one I want to either sell premium. There was, I think, one of the head engineers resigned after hours. But again, the volume's been picking up. They've been selling off pretty big. And Boeing's one of those with momentum. Usually, it continues a certain pace or trend for like a week or a month at a time. You could really see, if it's going to go down big, it starts going down big. When it goes up big, it goes up big. When it stays the same, it stays the same. When it wants to slowly go up, it slowly goes up. Object in motion stays in motion. So watch Boeing. I like them. I think they're interesting. Same thing with Apple, too. I'm really using Apple as even a market scale and even the health of tech. So just keep watching out for them and where they're at. Then we still got the XLNX and NVIDIA. I like both of them still. I don't have the NVIDIAs. I still think NVIDIA is still expensive. I'm still waiting really for XLNX to drop off, so we have a little bit of time there. But watch anything and any developments with the chip makers. Again, Intel as well too. But they started selling off a little bit more, and that is even telling us something. So still in that place, still going to be watching there. And then watching the earnings for FedEx. And then finally, a lot of people were talking about Starbucks today. I think they're interested. I was even looking at them for the long term. I kind of want to pick some up, but I'm going to be watching some of these that got beat down, and it even reminded me of some of the other names that did do good, and it brought up Johnson & Johnson. Watch some of these lower volatilities. Even Caterpillar could be one. I like them a lot as well too. And then finally, the value stocks too. I brought it up in the beginning of the week, Walmart, but you can see they've been selling off. They've been really staying even here. I think whenever they move, they're going to pop off and do good. And then even in the sake of Home Depot and how they've been doing, McDonald's, and you could see where that's at and what it's doing. I think if it breaks up, that'll be good. But you could see here now, this is why you need to be able to swing these and get time, because you could even see that XLNX when they hang out here and they don't break, it's telling you something, even down to the Ulta. So patience and timing is going to be key. You got to see, keep these all noted, because whenever some of these companies do break, like even Walmart, those are going to be big moves. So it's all about how do we position ourselves and react accordingly. But if anything, we'll talk about it tomorrow and the rest of the week. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Make sure we see you there in the morning. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure you don't get too jumpy. Control the FOMO demon, the YOLO demon. Make sure you bless, baby. We got many things to be blessed for. I'm still very, very, very excited for what this week has. So even coming into next week, it's going to be a fun December, baby. Every day is Christmas. I hope you're ready. And let's go!